You've been driving your EV all summer, charging it every night, and thinking you're doing everything right. But there's one habit you're repeating every single day that's quietly wearing down your battery, and it has nothing to do with how you drive or how you charge. It happens when you're not even in the car. Let's start with the habit itself, because it doesn't look like a problem at all. You drive to work, you park outside, you go inside and do your job. 8 hours later, you walk back to your car. It starts right up, and everything looks fine. That's it. That's the habit. Parking your EV outside in summer and leaving it there for hours, fully charged, sitting under direct sunlight, on heat-soaked pavement, in ambient temperatures that can push well past 90 degrees, and not thinking twice about it. And why would you? The car isn't running. You're not doing anything to it. But the battery doesn't care that you're not driving. Heat doesn't need your permission to do damage. And the conditions building up around the parked car, hour after hour, day after day, across an entire summer, are exactly the kind of conditions that lithium-ion batteries handle the worst. This is where the problem starts. Not on the highway, not at the fast charger, in the parking lot, at work. Why parked EVs can get surprisingly hot. Most people assume that a parked car, engine off, sitting still, isn't generating much heat. That assumption is completely wrong. Here's what's actually happening. On a summer day, when the air temperature is 95 degrees, the surface temperature of a sun-baked asphalt parking lot can reach 140 to 160 degrees. That radiating heat rises directly into the underside of the vehicle, where the battery pack sits. At the same time, direct sunlight is hammering the roof and hood, pushing the interior temperature of a car parked in full sun past 150 degrees within an hour. The battery's thermal management system activates to counteract this. It runs cooling cycles to keep the pack in a safe operating range. That cooling system draws power directly from the battery. So your battery is sitting in intense ambient heat, running its own cooling system to stay alive and slowly drawing itself down, all while you're inside at your desk. Lithium-ion batteries operate best between 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you push past roughly 113 degrees at the pack level, the chemistry starts reacting in ways that speed up long-term degradation. The electrolyte, the fluid that allows ions to move between cells, begins breaking down faster. That process is called electrolyte decomposition, and heat is its primary accelerant. One hot afternoon won't destroy your battery, but 60 hot afternoons in a summer, repeated across 3 or 4 summers, add a measurable layer of permanent wear that no software update and no charging habit will ever reverse. The vacation mistake many owners make. Now take that daily parking problem and scale it up. Every summer, millions of EV owners head out on vacation, leave their car at home or at an airport lot, and don't think much about how they left it. Typically, the car is fully charged, because leaving with a full battery feels responsible. Parked outside and sitting there for anywhere from 4 days to 2 weeks. That scenario stacks every possible source of battery stress into one extended event. A fully charged lithium-ion battery is already under chemical pressure. At 100% state of charge, the cells are at maximum voltage, maximum energy density, and maximum internal tension. The elevated state on its own accelerates the same aging process that heat drives. When you combine a full charge with sustained high ambient temperatures and days of direct sun exposure, you've created the most damaging long-term storage condition possible for your battery, and you've left it running for 2 weeks. Battery engineers specifically identify the combination of high state of charge and high temperature as the fastest path to accelerated calendar aging. Calendar aging is the degradation that happens over time, regardless of how much you drive. It's the battery getting older just by existing in the wrong conditions. The fix is straightforward. Before a long trip, charge to 50% rather than 100%. Park in a garage or covered structure if you have any option at all. If you're leaving from an airport, choose a covered lot or open-air parking. These decisions feel minor in the moment. Across the years of your ownership, they genuinely aren't. Before we go any further, if you're getting value from this, hit subscribe. This kind of content on what's actually happening inside your EV is exactly what this channel is built around. Why work parking can matter too. A typical EV owner drives to work 5 days a week. The car sits outside for 8 to 9 hours. In summer, that means full sun exposure through the hottest part of the day, usually 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., which is exactly when ambient temperatures, solar radiation, and pavement heat are all at their worst. The thermal management system works to protect the pack, but it's fighting against sustained external heat for the better part of a workday. If the car was charged to 100% the night before, which is the default for most owners, it's spending those 8 hours at maximum state of charge in maximum heat. That's the combination that damages batteries most efficiently. 5 days a week, 10 to 12 weeks of real summer heat, 40 to 60 sessions per summer of that exact harmful combination running automatically, invisibly, while you have no idea it's happening. Research shows that battery temperatures exceeding 30 degrees Celsius accelerate degradation noticeably, and in climates where summer temperatures regularly exceed that, which is most of the United States, capacity can degrade measurably faster than in cooler regions. The difference isn't catastrophic in any single summer, but EV ownership runs across 5, 8, 10 years. The math accumulates. What happens over multiple summers? This is the part that matters most, and it's the part that's hardest to feel until it's already happened. One summer of hot parking won't show up on your range display. One vacation with the car left fully charged outside won't trigger a warning. Your battery will absorb all of it and continue functioning normally, or at least appearing to. What changes is the ceiling. Lithium-ion batteries lose a small amount of capacity over time, regardless of conditions. But the rate of that loss is not fixed. It's directly influenced by the thermal and electrical stress the pack accumulates over time. A battery that spends 3 summers sitting fully charged in direct sun every workday will reach 85% of its original capacity faster than a battery that was consistently treated with more care. That lost capacity doesn't announce itself. You don't get a notification that says your battery degraded 3% this summer. What happens instead is more subtle. The range estimate in January is a little lower than it used to be. A drive that used to leave you with 40 miles to spare now leaves you with 25. You start charging more frequently on longer trips. It feels like the car is getting older, and it is, faster than it needed to. The cumulative pattern is what matters here. Heat waves, vacation parking, daily work commutes in full sun, repeated across years. None of it is dramatic. All of it adds up. And permanent capacity loss, unlike a software issue or a sensor problem, cannot be reset. What the smartest EV owners do differently. Here's where the habits that actually protect your battery come from. None of them requires a major change to your routine. Park and shade whenever possible. This is the single highest impact passive decision you can make in summer. A car parked in shade on a 95-degree day sees meaningfully lower battery temperatures than one sitting in full sun. The thermal system works less hard, draws less power from the pack, and the battery spends fewer hours at temperatures that accelerate degradation. An underground lot, a covered garage, a shaded street spot, all of them are doing real compounding work for your battery every summer afternoon. If shade isn't available, a reflective sunshade across the windshield reduces interior temperatures significantly. It's a simple, inexpensive fix that pays back across hundreds of hot parking sessions. Adjust your charge limit for summer. Most modern EVs allow you to set a charge limit below 100%. Setting it to 80% as your summer default removes the high state of charge stress entirely from your daily driving. 20% you're leaving behind is almost never relevant on a normal workday commute, and it gives your battery a meaningfully easier environment every time temperatures climb. Use scheduled charging. Instead of plugging in the moment you arrive home from an evening drive, set the car to begin charging a few hours before you leave in the morning. The battery reaches its target charge level close to your departure, spends less time sitting at high voltage in overnight heat, and starts the day in better thermal shape. Precondition before you drive. While plugged in, most EVs let you cool the cabin remotely while connected to the charger. The energy comes from the grid, not the battery. You leave with a comfortable interior and a thermally stable pack. In summer, this is free battery management, and it costs you nothing to use it. What surprised me most about summer battery stress. Honestly, when I first started digging into this topic, I assumed driving was the main event. The charging sessions, the fast chargers, the highway miles, those felt like the obvious sources of battery wear. What I didn't expect was how much a parked car could accumulate. A car sitting fully charged in a hot parking lot for 8 hours is, from the battery's perspective, a more stressful event than a lot of normal driving. It's sustained heat, sustained high voltage, and a thermal management system running continuously with no natural relief. There's no regenerative braking for recovering energy, no driving mode to switch into, just a battery sitting in conditions it doesn't like for as long as the workday runs. The second thing that surprised me was how invisible it all is. The car never complains, the battery warning light never triggers. Everything reads normal, session after session, summer after summer, until you're 3 years in and wondering why the range feels different than it used to. That invisibility is exactly why so many EV owners never change these habits. The feedback loop is too slow. By the time you can feel the degradation, the cause is years in the past. The real takeaway? Most battery wear doesn't come from one catastrophic mistake. It doesn't come from a single road trip, a single fast charging session, or 1 week of vacation parking. It comes from small habits, fully charged overnight, parked outside in full sun all day. Repeated 5 days a week, across summers, across years. The battery handles it quietly every time. It never raises an alarm, it just absorbs a little more wear than it needed to, session after session, until the cumulative total shows up as a range ceiling that used to be higher. The habits that change this outcome are genuinely simple. Shade when you can find it, an 80% charge limit is set for daily summer use, schedule charging timed closer to departure, precondition off the grid before you leave. These aren't inconveniences, they're just slightly more deliberate versions of what you're already doing. Your battery is going to age. That's not preventable. But the rate at which it ages is something you actually have significant control over. And summer is the season where that control matters most. Drop a comment below. Do you adjust how you park or charge in the summer? Or is this something you've never thought about? And subscribe if you want more content that gets into the real details of what's happening with your EV, not just the surface level advice.